My name's Fiona Jose and I'm the CEO of Cape York Partnership. Before we go any further though, I'd like to acknowledge the First Nations people of the country in which I'm having this interview today, and for acknowledge elders past, present and emerging, and also acknowledge the elders on the country of those who are listening and receiving this message today. Really important to me as well is to acknowledge Cape York elders, because without them I wouldn't have the privilege to be the CEO here of Cape York Partnership. Our vision at Cape York Partnership is to ensure that the people of Cape York Peninsula have the capabilities to choose a life they have reason to value. And there's some really big things in one small sentence. And the main one is, if we think about our theory of change here at Cape York Partnership, it's really about three things. One is about establishing social norms, or re-establishing, I should say. Two is about building capabilities of our people, so First Nations people and our staff. And then third is a balance of incentives that match reform and the reform that's needed. So I often kind of put a few words together, which is responsibility plus opportunity equals freedom. And that's what we're really trying to do at Cape York Partnership. If you think about the things that we try and create, and in particular around investing in young people, we have and have been investing over the last 15 years because it's vital. Elders have been saying for a long time that we need to be sharing and be doing this with our generation. So about nearly over 15 years ago, Cape York Partnership created a program called the Cape York Leaders Program, which is completely about investing in young people, with scholarships to secondary, tertiary and to our adult workforce. I'm actually an alumni of that program. In Cape York, we have so many women agenda setters. We just use different language. We call them change agents. We call them reformists. We call them elder, auntie, grandma, sister. We call them activists. You know, we call them those that stand up for things that they really believe in. So there is a strong voice and strong leadership of women in Cape York, and they play such a vital role in having the courage to do the things that we need to and finding solutions to our own problems. Financial confidence, or financial literacy as the world probably knows it, is extremely important, especially for vulnerable people. So if you think of, some of our most vulnerable First Nations people in this country, women, children, we have been for the last 20 years working on a product called M-Power, which is money power. And how do we really not only talk about financial literacy, because that's fantastic and we need to build that up, but we talk about financial confidence, and then we talk about how do individuals create wealth. Whether we like it or not, money is really important. It changes the opportunities that we have in our life based on that. And so therefore, when we've got women in some of our most vulnerable communities with the lowest income in this country, you can't not but build confidence and financial literacy in them. And the way to do that is by empowering them and walking beside them and really having that two-sided approach to empowerment, which is we can build solutions around the requirements and provide opportunities while also dealing with some real challenges on the ground. Really exciting, kind of the last 18 months we've been designing a product or a platform called the PAMA platform. It's new for us. It's a technology kind of evolution for the product. So we're taking what we would do manually around financial literacy one-on-one for those working in the office, and we've created a platform called the PAMA app. So it's that direct contact between the user and the app. So one of the key things is not all women or young people are actually walking in and uptaking the products. So part of this initiative was, how do we get into the homes directly? How do we not try and get around third parties? And technology is a really way to do that for us. So creating an app where I can be sitting in any community, log on and actually look at my financial literacy, health and education, because they're the three key pillars, of that program, will change our game. It will mean direct access. It also means scale. It means the success that we're having with our student education trusts, with our financial literacy programs, with our home loan programs, that we can actually now scale and provide these opportunities for other communities if that's what they wanted. The great thing my parents did was they said that they wanted much more for us as children than they had. And they said we need to talk to people about how you do that. Working hard and having a job was so vital to financial kind of independence, but it wasn't enough. You know, there's cultural obligations, there's work obligations, and so really I worked my way through that stumbling at times. And so it hasn't been till later in my life that I've probably been able to create some financial stability for my family. Yeah, start now. Actually start. If you don't understand what this thing is, financial literacy or confidence, or what that means for you, start asking people, have the questions, engage now. Don't think it's for the wealthy or those that just have money, or don't think it's for the poor. Financial literacy is for everyone. It means that you can work through the challenges that you had. Education's key. When you know about these things, you can actually start setting goals and having your own independence, and by doing that you're able to have choice, and choice is really, really important for women. Yeah, you know, when I think about success stories, I do actually think about my parents. So I worked really hard, low income, but it wasn't till their later time in years. So I'm talking about, you know, past 40, 50s, that they wanted a home. They wanted to save for their own home. They were sick of being in kind of housing commission, paying somebody else's rent, and they just wanted to be able to have that for themselves and success. It was something that my family didn't think was possible or were able to do. So late in life, they taught us how to do it. They went and saw some financial advice and got some advice about setting goals. They changed the way in which they were allocating and spending money. And happy to say, in retirement, and at 68, my parents own their own home.